Passion of our Lord Jesus Christ, according to the Gospel of St. John.
It happened over 2,000 years ago, an event that would change the course of human history forever. The city was Jerusalem. It was springtime, and the feast of Passover was at hand. The population of the city was increasing daily, as people from every corner of Judea had come to Jerusalem for this important celebration. There were merchants and vendors, peddlers and money changers, Pharisees and Sadducees, high in their court. There were wealthy and poor, all mingling together in the marketplace, at the entrance to the temple. Rumor had spread through the crowd that Jesus of Nazareth was coming to Jerusalem. There had been reports widely circulated among the people that Jesus had healed the blind, the lame, and had even raised the dead. Peter, John, and other disciples accompanied Jesus into Jerusalem. Many people came to welcome Jesus. They were waving palms and shouting, "Hosanna! Hosanna!"
Hosanna, son of David. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest.
Greetings, most noble Centurion.
Save your breath, old man. I'm here to give you a warning. I'm holding you personally responsible to keeping your people under control during your religious festival. The Roman Emperor will tolerate nothing but complete compliance with Roman law in this matter. Do I make myself clear?
Jacob, come back here. Jacob!
Hey, why, you little...
Let him be. He's just a child.
What's the matter, Marcus? Why do you stop? Does that man intimidate you?
Of course not. It's just that, well, I decided to forget it. What's it to you anyway?
Do you know that man?
No? What difference does it make?
Why, he's the big talk in all of Jerusalem these days. Haven't you heard about the teacher, the great healer?
Oh, yes. So he's the one. Is he one of you?
Of course not. He moves alone.
Or with his own man of rebel.
We wouldn't allow him to walk with us.
Yes, I can see why. He seems somehow too smart for that.
Stop it. Listen to me, all of you. Why must you define my father's temple with your buying and selling? And you, the priests and guardians of the sanctuary, you see this abomination and yet tolerate it. My house, says the Lord, shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a marketplace for thieves, robbers. Now, get out.
By what authority are you doing these things? And who gave you this authority?
I will ask you a question. If you answer me, I will tell you by what authority I am doing anything. John the Baptist, where did it come from? Was it from heaven or from man?
If we say from heaven, he will ask. Then why didn't you believe what John said?
But if we say to men, the people were heartless, where they are called John was a prophet.
Our answer is, we don't know.
Then, neither will I tell you by what authority am I doing these things.
Rabbi, we have heard many good things about you. But what you have done here both shocks and surprises us. Do you want to destroy the sacred temple?
This temple is not made from mere stone. It is the house of God. It cannot be destroyed as long as God lives here. Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will make it right again.
It took you centuries to build this temple. Do you think you can rebuild it in 3 days?
You have said it, but you do not understand.
I understand better than you think. Lord Cephas will be profoundly interested in all of this.
Jesus, if they are a prophet, then show us a sign in the heavens.
You wicked generation. You ask for a sign, but none will be given except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the great fish, so the Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth.
Teacher, I have a question for you. We know you are a man of integrity and that you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. You aren't swayed by men because you pay no attention to who they are. Tell us then, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not?
You hypocrite. Why are you trying to trap me? Show me the point used to pay taxes. Whose portrait is this? And whose inscription?
Caesar's!
And give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. Watch out for the teachers of the law. They like to walk around in flowing robes and be greeted in the marketplace and have the most important seats in the synagogue and places of honor at banquets. They cheat widows and for sure make lengthy prayers. Listen to me when you pray. Do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogue and on the street corners to be seen by men. Truth, I tell you, they have the reward, but when you pray, go to your private room, shut yourself in, and so pray to your Father. Father who is in the secret place, and your Father who sees all that is done secret will reward you. Your Father knows what you need before you ask Him. This then is how you should pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Jesus, thank you for helping me.
Get away from him. Don't bother the master.
Peter, let the children come to me. Let all the children come to me, for such is the kingdom of heaven.
The next morning, Jesus sent Peter and John to go and make preparations for the Passover meal. The city was so crowded, it seemed an impossible task to find a room large enough for all on such short notice. But Jesus had given detailed instructions. He told Peter and John that as they entered the city, they would meet a man that would show them to an upstairs room already prepared for the Passover meal. It happened just as he said. Later that day, the disciples made their way to partake of the Passover feast with Jesus. Passover had always been a time of real celebration.
My friends, a new commandment I give you, that you love one another as I have loved you. By this all men will know that you are my disciples.
I speak for all of us, Master. We will do all that you say, won't we, men?
Peter, Satan has asked to have you, to sift you like wheat, but I have prayed for you that your faith will not completely fall. I tell you this, all of you would abandon me this night. For it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered.
If I'll leave you, I never will. Even if I have to die with you, Lord, I will never disown you.
Die with me? No. This day, even this night, before the rooster crows, you will deny that you even know me. I know so well each of you that I have chosen, but the scripture must be fulfilled that says, he who shares my bread has lifted up the seal against me. I tell you the truth, one of you is going to betray me.
Master, this cannot be. Who among us will betray you?
Master, did I?
Lord, who is it?
John, the Son of Man will go as it is written of him. But woe to that man who betrays him. It would have been better for that man to never been born. What you must do, do quickly. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid, for I have desired to share in this Passover with you before I suffer. I will not eat it again until it finds fulfillment in the kingdom of God. This is my body, which is given for you. Take it and eat it. Do this in remembrance of me. This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you for the forgiveness of sins. Drink all of it, for I will not drink again of the fruit of the vine until the day I drink in the new with you in my Father's kingdom.
The city is in an uproar. One group of rebels has already been arrested, and more Roman troops are arriving daily from the Caesarea.
Our information is that Jesus of Nazareth will use the Passover festival to declare himself the Son of David. The people already thought him a prophet. I appeal to our high priest, Lord Caiaphas, you must do something.
What do you want me to do?
You must call a meeting of high council. We have to put a stop to the Jesus. He is a blasphemer.
Yes, you should see the way he spoke to us at the temple. The people are being deceived by his false teacher. If we leave him alone, then the whole nation will follow him.
That's right. Then the Roman army will kill us all.
No. Why should the entire nation perish because of one man? He must be stopped.
I say we arrest him.
No, not yet. We must be careful who will cause a riot among the people. There must be another way.
I couldn't help but overhear you. What would you be willing to give me if I hadn't overheard you?
Who are you, and what do you want?
My name is Judas. I'm a disciple of Jesus. I know where he is. I can take you to him.
A disciple of Jesus, are you?
Yes. Give me some armed men, and I will deliver him into your hands, even tonight. He can be found at a place called Gethsemane, not far from here. He goes there to pray.
How many will be with him?
Not more than 3.
How will we know who he is?
I will give you a sign. The one I shall kiss is the man.
We will pay you well for this, Judas. Yes, 30 pieces of silver.
Late that evening, when Jesus had finished the Passover meal with the disciples, he went to a garden called Gethsemane. The garden was so peaceful and beautiful, with its gnarled olive trees of such character, and yet it became the very place of anger, hatred, violence, and finally betrayal. Jesus had asked Peter, James, and John to accompany him into the interior of the grove, while the others remained at the garden's edge. Time seemed to pass so slowly that night. Jesus was in such great anguish of spirit, for he knew what was about to take place.
My soul very sorrowful, even to death. Remain here and watch with me. Father, if it's possible, take this cup of death from me. Yet not as I will, but your will be done.
An angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him. In great anguish, he prayed even more fervently. His sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground.
So, could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that you may not enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. My Father, if this cannot pass unless I drink it, thy will be done. Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand.
Master.
This is the hour, Judas. You betrayed your Lord with a kiss.
Judas, Judas, you traitor!
Enough. No, Peter. Put your sword away. Shall I not drink the cup that my Father has given me?
Arrest him. Arrest all of them.
No. I am the one you came for. Am I a criminal that you have come with swords and clubs? I sat daily with you, teaching the temple courts, and you did not arrest me. But the writings of the prophets must be fulfilled.
Seize him.
After they arrested Jesus in the garden, the chief priests and elders took Jesus to the palace of Annas for questioning. But because the hour was so late, Annas only briefly questioned Jesus and then sent him on, bound to Caiaphas for a trial before the Sanhedrin. This was unheard of, holding a trial in the middle of the night. Peter and John had cautiously made their way to the courtyard, just outside the council chambers where Caiaphas and the Sanhedrin would assemble. Both of them were fearful of the arrest after the encounter in the garden, but Peter was determined to find out what they were going to do with Jesus. John watched at a distance, while Peter slowly approached the servant's fire.
A trial in the middle of the night? I've never heard of such a thing.
Who is this Jesus? Yes, and why all the fuss?
I don't know, but have you seen all the people following him?
Yes, some even believe him to be the Messiah. Ha ha ha. Did you see the way he spoke to the rabbis? I've never heard anyone talk to them like that.
I cannot believe it either.
The Sanhedrin will never stand for it.
You are one of those who follow him, aren't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But you're not from Jerusalem. I've never seen you here before.
I tell you, I do not know this Jesus. I don't know him.
You surely speak like someone from Galilee. You must be one of his disciples.
Would you keep your voice down? I tell you, I do not know this Jesus. Now please go and let me alone.
You're lying. Why do you deny it? Are you ashamed of this Jesus? You should be ashamed of him. Imposter that he is.
I tell you, I know nothing about this man. I simply came to Jerusalem for the Passover and wanted to warm myself purified. Is that such an unlawful thing?
No, it would not be if you were telling us the truth. But I know I have seen you before. Yes, now I remember it. It was you I saw the day at the temple courts with that Jesus, so-called Christ.
A disciple of Jesus? You are mad. I swear to you, by all the gold in the kingdom, I do not know this man.
Then those who had seized Jesus led him to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and elders had gathered. Now the chief priests and the whole council sought false testimony against Jesus, that they might put him to death.
Members of the Sanhedrin, we have a serious matter at hand. I realize the hour is late, but this demands our immediate attention. We have received report after report on this man Jesus and his disciples and their false teaching. Why, there are even charges of blasphemy. The truth must be known. Carpenter, I want you to think very carefully before answering our question. The first question, and indeed the key question, is simply this. What is the nature of the doctrine you and your disciples have been spreading here in Judea?
I have spoken openly for everyone to hear. I have taught daily in the synagogues and temple. I have said nothing in secret. Why do you question me? Those who have heard me are my witnesses.
You have spoken well, Carpenter. You have called for witnesses, and so you shall have them.
This man is not from God. He is an impostor. Why, he doesn't even keep the Sabbath.
Your Honor, we are witnesses that this. Jesus said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and build it again in 3 days.
No one could build the temple in 3 days. What he said must have symbolic meaning.
I heard him say that he will rebuild it in 2 days.
3 days, 2 days, the witnesses can't agree.
How can we possibly remember every detail? The fact is, Lord Cephas, this Jesus is a false teacher.
I have heard his teaching, and I also seen his miracles. Surely this man is from God.
Enough. It has been said that you have proclaimed yourself to be the Son of God. I charge you now in the name of God. Are you the Son of God?
I am. And in the future, you will see the Messiah sitting at the right hand of God.
He has spoken blasphemy. We need no further witnesses. He has condemned himself. There can be but one penalty, death.
I must speak with you.
Of what? Our business is finished.
I have brought the money back. I want no part of it.
Can I accept that?
I have sinned that I betrayed innocent blood. Take the money.
Can I accept this blood?
Take it.
We must take counsel.
Trial after mocking trial was imposed on Jesus. The scenes before Caiaphas and the Sanhedrin had only been the beginning, because the Jews had no legal authority to carry out a death sentence. Jesus had to be taken to Pontius Pilate, the Roman emperor. Not knowing what to do with a case so religious in nature, and learning that Jesus was a Galilean, Pilate sent him to King Herod, who was also in Jerusalem at the time, in hopes that Herod would handle this problem, which was clearly in his jurisdiction.
Bring in the Galilean. So this is Jesus. I've heard so much about you, teacher. But a criminal? Why have you brought me this man? And why do you pet me with your religious quarrels?
This man teaches revolt against Rome.
He teaches the followers to give tribute to Caesar.
He says that he is Christ, our King.
And you, Jesus of Galilee, what answer do you have to these accusations? Galilean, I understand that you like to do miracles. They tell me the blind can see and the deaf can hear. And oh yes, I particularly like this one. You can turn water into wine. Why even hear that bread is multiplied? Here, Jesus, multiply this. That shouldn't be too difficult for a prophet, or God, or whatever it is that you claim to be. And besides, we're all very hungry. Or maybe this. Miracle Man, surely you can turn this water into wine for me. Very well. You want to be king? There. You are king. I give you the king of the Jews. This Jesus may claim to be king, but I find this man no cause for death. Although I am ruler over all Galilee, this Jesus may claim to be one of my subjects. In Jerusalem, I, Herod, bow to the authority of Rome. Therefore, I cannot possibly sentence this man. Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor alone, has the power and authority to do so. Now get him out of my sight.
This angry mob, whose spirit had been turned against Jesus by the elders and their paid rabble-rousers, grew even more intense in their demands for the death penalty. They shouted their curses in Jesus' face. Some even hit him. Others spat on him as their hatred raged. The soldiers were instructed by Herod to take Jesus back to Pontius Pilate, who ordered that Jesus be taken to a balcony just above an open courtyard where he would stand trial. Jesus now stood again before Pilate, with the shouts of the crowd still ringing in his ear.
What charges do you bring against this man?
Most noble governor, we would not have brought this man to you unless he were a criminal.
You know the law of Rome. I can neither try nor execute a man unless you bring a definite charge. Now who accuses him?
He forbids us to give tribute to Caesar. He says that he is Christ our King.
Then why not take him and judge him according to your own law?
Your Honor, he has already been judged by our high council.
Yes, and according to our holy law, this man must die because he claims to be Son of God. This is blasphemy.
No Roman can condemn a man to death for such a statement.
Sir, this man teaches revolt against Rome.
I have previously questioned this Jesus, and I find no basis for your charges against him, and neither has Herod, for he has sent him back to me. He has done nothing to deserve death. Silence! In the name of Caesar, I command you to keep silent. This man Jesus, as you have called him, has admitted that he is a king. But beyond this, I find no fault in him.
Any man who claims to be king opposes Caesar. If you let this man go, you are no friend of Caesar's.
For years, as a custom, we Romans have released during your Passover festival one of the men from your prison today. I shall ask you to free from prison. Or I shall ask you to make a choice. I have ordered that a certain man named Barabbas be brought from the prison. Bring Barabbas in.
Bring him in.
You know Barabbas, a rebel and enemy of Rome, a confessed murderer. Either give Barabbas his freedom or free this innocent man, Jesus of Nazareth. Which of the two is to be released?
Barabbas, free Barabbas.
What am I to do with this man, Jesus?
Crucify him! Crucify him!
Behold, I wash my hands before you. I am innocent of the blood of this just man. The responsibility is yours. I'm not responsible for the death of this man. This is your doing.
The whole crowd answered,
Let the responsibility of his death fall on us and our children!
Then Pilate set Barabbas free for them.
Free the prisoner.
Pilate then ordered that Jesus be whipped and handed him over to be crucified. The soldiers led Jesus away to the courtyard, and there they scourged him and mocked him and jeered at Jesus, the Christ.
Titus, Brutus, tie up the prisoner and show him no mercy.
I hear we have the King of the Jews. There is only one king we bow to, and his name is Caesar. Hail Caesar. We waited all day for this, haven't we, men?
Yeah.
Prepare to die, Jesus. Bleed for Rome.
Bleed for Rome.
Bleed for Caesar.
Aye. That's enough. Take him away.
You heard him. Take him down. Let's look at the king now. I present you the King of the Jews.
After they had brutally beaten Jesus, Pilate's soldiers took Jesus into the governor's palace, and the whole company gathered around him. They stripped off his clothes and placed a purple robe upon him. Then they made a crown out of thorny branches and placed it on his head, and put a reed in his right hand. And kneeling before him, they mocked him and spat upon him, and they cried out,
Look, the King of the Jews. I bow before the King.
Long live the King of the Jews.
They took the stick and hit him over the head. When they had finished making fun of him, they took the robe and put his own clothes back on him. Then they led him out to be crucified.
That's enough. That's enough, I said. Take him away.
After they had brutally beaten Jesus, the Roman soldiers took him and placed a heavy cross of splintered wood upon his open wounds. This was the cross upon which he was to be crucified. His cross was to be the one in the center between two thieves. Jesus, a criminal, what crime had he committed? He had cleansed the leper. He had brought sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf. He had even raised the dead. And now, for all of his compassion, he was going to die the death of a criminal. The crowd began to gather for the crucifixion that afternoon. They lined up the streets as Jesus began his slow and painful walk up the hill to Golgotha. They persecuted Jesus. They lashed and mocked him, and finally crucified him. But was every heart spilling over with hate? No, for the people of a crowd almost 2,000 years ago were very much the same as the people of a crowd today. There were those who loved him and would later die for him. There were those who hated and feared him. For holiness has a way of disturbing the evil heart. There were those who doubted because they did not believe God can do all things. And there were gentle hearts in that crowd, and some of the compassionate were women. Compassionate and gentle, such were the hearts of the women of Jerusalem. A large crowd of people followed him. Among them were some women who were weeping and wailing for him. Someone in the crowd says, Jesus turned to them and said,
Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me, but weep for yourself and for your children.
Okay, that's enough. Move away. Let through.
Enough of this. On to Calvary with the Nazarene.
Veronica, a pious woman of Jerusalem and longtime follower of Jesus, is among those watching as Jesus carries the cross.
What is wrong with you? Don't you know that the Son of God, my precious Jesus, what have they done? I love you, Jesus, and I'll carry you in my heart forever.
All right, back up. Back her up. Back her up.
Back, all of you. Make room. One of you will have to help him. If you want to crucify this Nazarene, one of you will have to help him, or he will not make it to Calvary. You, come here.
I have nothing to do with today's happening.
Come here.
Why should I be the one? I want no part of this. I've done nothing.
Help the Nazarene.
Simon is taking all credit. He wants to run them down. He was forced to help him. Let the last hour come today.
Move back, move back. Make way for your Nazarene. Make way for the King of the Jews. Move back, let him through.
Let's all take a look at the king now.
Is this what you wanted?
What is he to you now?
He is a blasphemer.
And they took him to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. And there they crucified him and divided his garments among themselves, casting lots for them to decide what each should take. The inscription of the charge against him read, "The King of the Jews."
Ah. Ah. Ah.
Jesus, my Lord. No, Jesus. Behold our King.
You who destroyed the temple and built it within 3 days would save yourself.
He saved others, but himself he cannot save.
If you be the Christ, King of our nation, then come down from the cross, that we might see it and believe.
Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
If you are the Messiah, save yourself and us.
Don't you fear God? You receive the same sentence that he has. We are only getting what we deserve. God, remember when you come as king.
I promise you that today you will be with me in paradise.
Please, sir, she's his mother.
Let them through.
My son, Lord, what you ask of me, my heart is broken for love of you and my son. That day in the temple, Simeon told me that a sword would pierce my soul. Since then, I prepared to die for Jesus. But today, as I met Jesus in the street carrying that cross, I realized it would be my own heart's death than his own. Abraham, you were spread the sacrifice, and I suffer my heart and my all. Dear God, give me the grace to face this trial you have set before me. Help me to keep your love in my heart. Help me to be a strength to Jesus in his need. Be with me now, Lord.
Mother, cry not for the death of your son, for now every man born of a woman will know you as their mother. John, behold your mother. Woman, behold your son. I am thirsty. My God, Why have you forsaken me? It is finished. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit.
This man was indeed the Son of God. He was the Messiah, the promised one. I kneel before the Son of God. I crucify him.
What is this? What is this? What is this? Right. This is not a cross. This is a crucifix. Right. This is a crucifix. This is what should be in everybody's where? Home. Cada familia debe de tener siquiera uno, sino más, uno en cada cuarto. No una cruz, pero un crucifijo. Esta es la libertad. Esta es la salvación. De esto huye Satanás. Esto nos protege. Así que si quieren protección en su hogar, deben de tener un crucifijo, porque hay poder en este crucifijo. Nos recuerda de los sufrimientos, pero nos recuerda del gran amor que murió por nosotros y no nos deja. Por eso debemos estar en cada cuarto, a no dejarlo solo, pero cada vez que vamos a nuestro hogar, a nuestra cama, que podemos dialogar con Él. Eso es lo que Él quiere. Dice, háblenme, díganme todo lo que quieren. Dime de tu vida, tus problemas, tus sueños, cómo te fue este día. Eso es lo que quiere Dios. Pero esto nos recuerda cuando lo miramos, de dialogar con Él. Porque sin esto, entonces, es muy fácil olvidarnos. Es muy fácil decir, es que se me olvidó. No se nos debe de olvidar si está mero frente de nosotros en el cuarto. Cuando nos estamos durmiendo y ahí está enseguida. Podemos decir, Señor, aquí estás conmigo. Cuídame esta noche. Y si en la mañana despierto, es por tu gracia y te puedo decir, buenos días, Señor. Dormimos bien. Y me das otro regalo de otro día. Recordamos esta noche. Y esto es la crucifixión del Señor. Vamos a prepararnos para celebrar los sagrados misterios en la comunión. Y oremos con las palabras que nos ha dejado el Salvador. Padre nuestro, que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino. Hágase tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día. Perdona nuestras ofensas, como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. No nos dejes caer en la tentación y líbranos de todo mal. Amén. Y Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor es contigo. Bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres, y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús. Santa María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nosotros pecadores, ahora y en la hora de nuestra muerte. Amén. Este es el Cordero de Dios, el que quita el pecado del mundo. Dichosos los invitados a la cena del Señor.
Señor, yo no soy digno que entres a mi casa, pero una palabra tuya bastará para sanar.
Vamos a tener diferentes estaciones para ofrecer la comunión. Va a haber 2 estaciones, una en cada lado atrás y entonces uno en cada lado de la puerta aquí, de este lado. Enseguida de donde están dando la comunión van a tener un crucifijo para que el que guste puede venerar. Mira que cuando vengan, entonces si pueden comulgar, comulgan y entonces hacen la veneración y entonces ya se pueden ir. Si no pueden comulgar, siquiera pueden venerar, entonces el crucifijo y entonces se pueden ir.